So the Washington Post here with a great article about some of the instability going on in the White House. Yes, instability in the White House. That should not be a surprise to you because it has never not been unstable. But look, they're saying that it's actually even more unstable now than it was before due to the recent shakeup. Now that includes Hope Hicks leaving, McMaster possibly being pushed out. In fact, they're trying to find another post for General McMaster. So again, it all seems to be falling apart. Now, this, of course, comes from interviews with 22 White House officials, friends and advisors to the president, and other administration allies, most of whom spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss Trump's state of mind. Oh boy. So now, according to them, these are the darkest days in at least a half a year, they say, and they worry just how much farther the President Trump and the administration may plunge into unrest and malaise before they start to recover. Again, this has been a race to the bottom ever since Trump became president. As one official put it, quote, "We haven't bottomed out." I got news for you. I've been saying this before. There is no bottom. They're going to keep going further and further down into the depths of madness. Because, unfortunately, Trump has no bottom, and he will continue to go further and further down into madness. Now, they say that Trump is a president in transition, at times angry and increasingly isolated. He fumes in private that just about every time he looks up at a television screen, the cable news headlines are trumpeting yet another scandal. Well, here's a suggestion. Don't have so many goddamn scandals. You can actually stop that by not being scandalous. Just saying. Now, he also voices frustration that son-in-law Jared Kushner has few on-air defenders. He revives old grudges and he confides to friends that he is uncertain with whom to trust. So that's very interesting because, look, Kushner has had a very, very bad week. Turns out, Jared Kushner is incredibly corrupt. Wow, didn't see that coming. I mean, the fact that he, before, pushing to have a blockade of Qatar, or Qatar, or however you say it, he tried getting money, soliciting money from the finance minister of Qatar. Again, so that was that entire blockade or lining up to get the United States behind that blockade that's being pushed by Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Jared Kushner helped write up the memo that got Trump to support that blockade. All because they wouldn't loan him $500 million for his investments. And now, of course, he's had his security clearance revoked. And that, of course, is in part to the fact that a lot of these other countries saw Kushner as somebody who could be easily manipulated. Wonderful. So, is it any wonder why Kushner doesn't have any on-air defenders? Well, look, here's the other thing about this. Kushner, what does he do? What does he bring to the table? He didn't bring anything to the table. He's there because of, I don't know, some misguided form of nepotism. Basically, well, all nepotism, of course, is misguided, but he doesn't do anything there. He and Ivanka are basically dead weight. And no wonder that Trump, of course, privately talked with Kelly to try and figure out a way to push them out. So, now, that, of course, only adds to the instability here. Now, so concerned with are those around Trump that some of the president's oldest friends have been urging one another to be in touch. The sort of familiar contacts that often lift his spirits. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, apparently, to some of Trump's advisors. He says he has been pleased with the news coverage of his role in the gun debate, and lighthearted moments have leavened his days, such as a recent huddle with staff to prepare his comedic routine for the gridiron a Saturday night dinner with Washington officials and journals. So, now on the gun debate, no, wait a minute here. Now, look, I don't have the video for you guys, but when he was talking to Democrats, here's Nancy Pelosi getting all giddy. Like, oh, I can't believe we're going to get some actual gun reform with Donald Trump. No, you idiot. He's not going to actually do anything about gun control. It's not actually going to work. Because, look, a day after he had that meeting with the Democrats, he went and met with the NRA, and then, oh, look at that, suddenly he backtracked. Suddenly he's not so much in favor of gun control. Now he's a strong Second Amendment guy. He has no principles. And he can be swayed very, very easily because he doesn't know anything. And guy doesn't have an original thought in his head. The only thought that he has in his head is Trump, Trump, Trump. That's it. What am I going to get out of this? Where's my name going to be mentioned? You know, who's going to sing my praises? That's all Trump cares about. So, of course, he sees positive coverage of him. And he's like, oh, my God. I love it. I love it. Let me see more. Let me see more. Oh, I'm upset that they're not talking good about me on the cable television. Since he watches 6 hours of cable TV a day. But it's all got to be about him. All got to be about him. Now, Trump's friends, they say, are increasingly concerned about his well-being, worrying that the president's obsession with cable commentary and perceived slights is taking a toll on the 71-year-old. One exasperated ally lamented that this is, quote, pure madness. I think the president is starting to wobble in his emotional stability, and it's not going to end well. Trump's judgment is fundamentally flawed, and the more pressure put on him, the more isolated he becomes. I think his ability to do harm is going to increase. Damn. Now, Trump has been asking people close to him whether they think Kushner has done anything wrong, according to a senior administration official. Two advisors said the president repeatedly tells aides the Russia investigation will not ensnare him, even as it ensnares others around him. As I just mentioned in an earlier story, now you have Robert Mueller, who's asking for more and more documents for people that are directly in his orbit and involving him himself, which is making the investigation also more about him. Interesting. And he thinks the American people are starting to conclude that the Democrats, as opposed to his campaign, colluded with the Russians. Again, we'll have to see proof of both at this point. Now, still, the developments have delivered one negative headline after another, leading Trump to lose his cool, especially in the evenings and early mornings, when he is often most isolated. Well, yes, that's when he's having his executive time, where he sits and watches Fox and Friends, eats cheeseburgers, and calls up his buddies. So, look, that's what's going on in the White House. And President Trump, he's isolated, he's angry, he thinks everybody is out to get him, which I guess is partly true, and he doesn't know who he can trust. This whole thing is a meltdown. Again, madness. I mean, look, he's even going after his. He's even going after Jeff Sessions, right? Now Sessions called him Mr. Magoo. Who goes after their own attorney general? Donald Trump does, because he didn't think he was sufficiently loyal. So he's like, I can't trust Sessions. I can't trust pretty much anybody in this White House. It's insane what's going on here. It's absolutely insane. In fact, look, his own staff, for one, his own staff thinks they don't listen to my advice. What's the point of talking to Trump when he's not actually going to listen to what we're saying? And morale, well, according to a Republican strategist, he says, quote, morale is the worst it's ever been. Nobody knows what to expect. Well, That's true. To there I say, look, expect the unexpected. That's exactly what you're going to get with Trump, because Trump doesn't even know what Trump is going to do next. We're dealing with somebody who you can't just put into a box. You're dealing with somebody who's incredibly unpredictable. And look, he thrived on this chaos when he was running his own business. Well, at least according to him, he thrived on this chaos. His businesses, not so much, because 6 of them went bankrupt. He is absolutely inept. So, look, man, and that's what he's bringing to the White House. That's what he has brought to the White House. If you think that's ever going to change, it's not. No, it's going to continue being a disaster. The only question is, how much is he going to destroy in the meantime? Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.